So right now our application is working. If we go over here, we'll see that we've built some delay in here. Eventually we'll put a real back end in here. We could add foo's. We could end up adding bars. Got some console logs here, which we put in to test something out. Let's pull those out so this looks a little bit cleaner. But what we're going to do here is that instead of managing the state with our homegrown store, which is fine, and it works, I'm going to comment this out, and it's going to end up breaking. But what we're going to end up doing is we're going to end up bringing in a store that we're going to create from Redux. So instead of actually having our own event listeners, we're going to end up using Redux, which is a common tool to keep track of state in an application. If we look at some of the documentation from Redux, here's a very simple example. What we could end up doing here is that we could create a store, and we see this counter here. So Redux works based on the idea of reducers. So what will happen is that when you have a store, you could find the state of your store by running through your reducer. So if you didn't do anything to your store would have a value of 0, but you can end up calling actions on your store. So with Redux, it has a dispatch method built in. We could call a type of increment, and what would happen is that our reducer would get called, we would increment, and our state would end up increasing. So our store is going to be very predictable. These reducers are considered pure functions, and it's going to be a little bit easier to maintain our application by using Redux. So that's the next thing that we'll end up setting up.